left field his first time up. Yesterday's ball game collected 2 hits and an RBI. 0-1 pitch is a high chopper over towards the first baseman Zubia. He'll step on the bag himself as quickly hustling down there as Driscoll almost beats it out. So loses the helmet, but he's retired for the second out here.
From Iowa, number 19, Ben Norman.
With 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning. It's now up to Ben Norman, the center fielder, to prolong this inning. Norman getting the start, getting a nod out at center this evening.
And Norman's played a fair bit of center and left field, and he's also played some right, but primarily back at school, he plays center and left.
First pitch misses down below the knees for ball 1.
He was telling me he prefers playing out in center field. You don't get the weird spin on the ball that you get out in left field. When you play out in left, if it's tailing towards the line from a left-handed hitter, it could spin awfully weird on you. And he does not like that, so prefers out in center field.
1-0 pitch is line foul down the third base side towards the Red Sox bullpen area. Good crowd on here for this game at Red Wilson Field. Nice day to watch a baseball game. Sunny skies, wind blowing out towards the left field. Temperature in the low 80s. Red Sox wear their home white and red stripes. As the 1-1 pitch is on the inside corner for a strike 2. Now I have to say these might be the cooler uniforms in the league in the Cape League. It's almost the exact same Red Sox home uniforms with the white and then the red piping down the side of the pants. And the actual Red Sox, the only difference is it says YD on the left sleeve, as also the Cape League logo on the other sleeve. As the 1-2 pitch pass fall misses upstairs. Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now they do have their regular blue YD hat.
And some of their other jerseys, though, have what's similar to the White Sox logo.
That's what's on their hat as well. It's a 2-2 pitch. It's a ground ball right back to the pitcher, Wiles, who steps in, will throw towards first base to retire Norman. So a 1-2-3 inning worked by Wiles. He's pitched 4 solid innings so far for the Red Sox after 3.5. 5-1 Red Sox lead us to Mariners baseball on the Harwich Mariners Radio Network. Top of the 4th between the YD Red Sox and the Harwich Mariners. They lead the Mariners by a score of 5-1. Looking at a couple of runs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And his 9-1 2-hitter is set to do battle against Jacob Bradley, who's back out on the hill for these 4th inning. So far, Red Sox have collected 5 runs in 6. Mariners 1 run and 3. It's showing bunt as the catcher Dyer down the third base area. Eichhoff barehands it and will decide to eat it as Dyer hustling down the first base line. I don't think Eichhoff, not sure if he was in on the grass or not, but a perfectly placed bunt for Dyer anyhow. So he reaches base to start off the 4th inning. He reached base in the 2nd as well with an RBI double. And the top of the order comes back around here with the leadoff man, Zach Ashford.
And yet another infield base hit for the YD Red Sox. There was one earlier on a high chopper over towards Tanner Morris at shortstop, and this time a slow roller on the grass in the infield, and runner on first base.
First pitch to Ashford is skied out towards left center field. This one's going to hop off the wall. As fielding out there as Drielska throws it back in quickly as Dyer will reach over at third and will be held up by the third base coach down there. So that is Ashford's second double on the afternoon. He picked up a double in the second inning as the Red Sox look to tack on a few more for run support. They have 2 men on in scoring position with nobody out in the bottom of the fourth inning, 5-1 Red Sox lead.
Yet another double off the bat of Zach Ashford. He hit one back in the top of the bottom of the second inning, and now adds another double in the bottom of the fourth. Runners on second and third with still nobody out. There is an arm warming up in the Harwich Mariners bullpen. That's Gage Gillian.
First pitch to DeLuca bounces a few feet short of home plate as Debo able to block that pitch. Nice block there by Debo. So still nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth. I mentioned before, third base coach is not Scott Picker this evening. He is away. I mentioned yesterday's broadcast and at the Hall of Fame ceremony for Trevor Hoffman as the 1-0 pitch is on the inside corner for strike one. Of course, Trevor Hoffman played his first 2 years at Cypress College as a shortstop. You know, think of him as a closer, second all-time in the saves lifts now, but he was actually a shortstop before transferring to University of Arizona as the 1-1 pitch is a big swing and miss by DeLuca. Count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes, and Scott Picker was the manager of that team. And looking back now, he says, you know, I couldn't believe I put him at shortstop and not as a pitcher, but that kind of stuff can happen. 1-2 count on DeLuca, righty-lefty matchup. Time is called as Bradley was almost about to deliver the pitch. He was already in his windup. Still the dude again at 1 ball and 2 strikes. And DeLuca was playing second base today, the hitter. Played center field yesterday. 1-2 fastball just doesn't quite catch the outside black. Count is now 2-2. DeLuca this evening with a walk and a ground out. Has 2 ducks in the pond here. Already has 17 runs driven in for the Red Sox. The 2-2 offering is a high chopper over towards the second baseman Green. He fields it, throw on to first base. As the Red Sox will stack on another as DeLuca will drive in the runner off at third and Matt Dyer as Ashford will advance towards third, but the Mariners do record and out here in the bottom of the fourth.
Well, it extends that YD lead. They now lead 6-0, and it's been a tough start for Bradley tonight. There's not many other ways to put it. He ran into some trouble in the first inning, and it got that much tougher in the third when the YD bats just continued to hit and hit and hit some more. In the third inning, it was a little bit easier for Bradley, but now he's able to allow a run here in the fourth.
So now here in the bottom of the fourth, 6-1 Red Sox lead. As Emma comes right on and hits Noah Campbell, he'll toss the bat. He'll take a jog over towards first base. They haven't got some flesh on him on the thigh area. So now the Red Sox will have runners on the corners with 1 out. Looking again, they have 8 hits on the evening, and now manager Coach Stenger comes out to talk to his right-hander pitcher in Bradley.
And that may do it. I would not be stunned. He's already thrown 58 pitches, and Coach Engler hasn't motioned over to the bullpen yet, as Gage Gillian has been warming up for a little while. Right now, just having a chat with his infield, letting him know what's going to happen. And it is possible that he's chatting with them about the defensive alignment, but it's pretty early for that. I think that would be sort of signaled from the dugout normally. But possibly just making sure everybody's on the same page. Remember, the manager gets 1 mound visit per inning before he has to make a pitching change. And it looks like that's what he's doing here. He's just visiting the mound. No pitching change made by Coach Steve Englert, as there are still runners on first and third with 1 out.
I think it's just to calm, Bradley down. He's runs into trouble with after the single by Dyer, leadoff here on a bunt, then a double from Ashford. And then the grounder from DeLuca is able to plate 1 run, and the runners in the corners, and he actually hits Campbell to put runners on the corners. So, again, it's all about the motions on the mound. How can you compose yourself and come back? Pitching on the Cape League is a tough task in alone as the first pitch to the first baseman, Zubia. Misses down the zone for ball one. Zubia, who has grounded out to third base his first 2 times up. Looks to do anything but that here. Zubia was the designated hitter yesterday with Doshbach getting the night off. Zubia's moved over towards first base. Royals on the corners with 1 out, the 1-0 offering. Pitch runs off the outside corner for ball 2. 2-0 is the count. As the catcher, Brad Diebel, will take a walk out to talk to Bradley. Head back to behind the dish. Zubia restraps the batting gloves. Our Mariners wearing their home BP's uniforms. Their alternates with their gray pants and blue piping, matched before the Red Sox uniforms. As now Bradley will ask for a new baseball. So wind continues to blow out towards left field. It's been a windy day here on Cape Cod. Not your typical windy day, but just enough to make a difference as a 2-0 pitch runs outside. As D must be a cat-esque like back behind the plate to make that grab. 3-0 the count now on the first baseman, Zubia. Won't be surprised if Zubia takes all the way here. The 3-0 pitch to Zubia. Pitch runs upstairs, and he'll take his base. So now the bases are loaded for the Red Sox here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Already a 6-1 Red Sox lead. However, there is 1 out, though, so they're just 1 pitch away from out of this inning.
Well, the Red Sox have themselves a 5-run lead right now. They're in the driver's seat, but this game is not over yet, as the Harwich Mariners are still possibly in this game if they can get out of the inning pretty quickly, as it looks like that will do it for Jacob Bradley's night as Coach Steve Englert walks out to the mound. And second trip to the mound in the inning, manager has to make the pitching change, so Jacob Bradley's night is done. Jogging in from the outfield is Gage Gillian. Now this is important because if the Mariners allow another 3-4 runs in this inning with the bases loaded for the YD Red Sox, then what you're going to know is this game could be out of reach before you know it. On the other hand, if the Mariners can stay in this game, they can get out of this inning, possibly put up a run on the top of the 5th, work themselves back into this ballgame. It's still possible. But, you know, the YD Red Sox have the opportunity to blow off the doors in the bottom of the 4th inning.
That's exactly what they could do here, just 1 swing of the bat, especially with Quinn Cotton coming up. So we'll step aside as Gilliam will warm up for the Mariners. Listen to Mariners Baseball on the Harwich Mariners Radio Network. Here in the bottom half of the fourth inning, Red Sox lead the Harwich Mariners by a score of 6-1. Gage Gillian, the new pitcher on the mound, native of Spring Hill, Tennessee, Walters State Community College, making his second appearance this year. A little roughed up in his first outing, gave 2/3 of an inning, gave a hit, 3 runs, 3 earned on 4 walks and no punch-outs. Big spot here, bases loaded with 1 out. First pitch curveball to Quinn Cottons at the knees for strike 1.
And the important thing right now for Gage Gillian is that he throws strikes. Period, that's it. He needs to make sure he throws strikes. In his first time out, as you mentioned, he walked at least a few batters and only allowed the 1 hit.
A 1 pitch, it hops into the dirt for ball 1 as Brad Debo making sure to cover that one. Counterman's back up at 1 ball and 1 strike. And Con so far has a walk and a single, so he's reached base his first 2 at-bats.
Because as I was mentioning earlier, 4 out of the 7 batters he faced in that first game ended up walking. So if Gage Gillian, I think some of it was nerves, and that's going to happen. But if he's able to throw some strikes tonight and get some outs, that's what he's looking for.
Well, 1 pitch just doesn't quite bite enough. Just misses above the letters for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike on the left fielder out of Grand Canyon. Well, the 2-1 pitch fastball up on the zone is cut on a miss for strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Con. Con's hitting .291 coming in with 21 RBIs. No long balls yet. He went 1 for 5 with an RBI in yesterday's victory over the Mariners. Gillen gets the side from the catcher, Debo. Comes set from the belt. The 2-2 pitch, fastball cut on and missed. And Cotton goes down swinging as Gage Gillian picks up a big strikeout here with the bases loaded. And there are now 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Red Sox lead 6-1.
Well, a big strikeout would be an understatement if you ask me. That was a huge strikeout from Gage Gillian because now the infielders can move back and, he can sort of rely on his defense. Any sort of a ground ball, a fly out. The Mariners have a lot more to work with here. Not allow another run either.
So now with 2 down here in the inning. 1 run across the Red Sox. The bases are still loaded with 2 outs. And as Reese out with the right fielder, first pitch at the knees for strike 1. That is now back-to-back batters where Gillian has thrown a first pitch strike. And if you're a pitcher on the mound, that's going to help you a lot. If you get that first pitch strike in there, the percentages of getting that guy out will go up. 1 pitch. Fastball outside corner, strike 2. Albert gives a glance back to the home plate umpire, Joe Lobello, but it's in there anyway, going 2. So Gillian is looking spot on so far in his second appearance on the Cape League. No balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs to count. The 0-2 pitch. Fastball up in the zone is popped up. It will get behind the seats area. Over towards the parking lot area. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes.
I made sure that my car was at least in a respectable spot that was far enough away from the field that it probably was safe. It wasn't really far away. There were a lot of people that were way far away from the field. I thought, I'll park it far enough away so I'm safe, but not too far so that, you're walking a half mile.
0-2 curveball is fouled off the catcher, Debo. He grimaces for a second as the home plate umpire, Joe Lobello, will give some time respectfully to Debo and he'll walk the ball out towards pitcher Gillian. Count remains 0, no balls and 2 strikes. Look like around the toe area. They do have the toe guard, but it doesn't fully reach over the foot. Or it's the ankle guard, excuse me.
And I'd be interested to see what Gillian goes with. He's up in the count 0-2. You don't want to just waste any pitches if you're Gillian. But it wouldn't be a bad idea to throw a couple pitches outside the strike zone, see if you can get a swing and a miss.
0-2 pitch from Gillian. Fastball up on the zone is once more fouled out of play. And it seems like right there that Gillian's trying to overpower the fastball to Albert, but he's catching up with it. So now fastball up in the zone. They might go with something low and off speed down in the zone to try and get a swing and miss.
Yeah, it was a pitch out of the zone. It was a good pitch, though, from Gage Gillian. I like the pitch selection.
0-2 once more. Curveball is cut on and over towards the first baseman, Lipsius. He calls off Gillis up the bag himself to retire the third out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. So Gillian comes on and pitches, gets the last two outs as the Red Sox will string the bases low, but they do tack on one more. As John DeLuca drives one in on the ground now. It's the Mariners now trail the Red Sox by a score of 6-1. Listen to Mariners baseball on the Harwich Mariners Radio Network.
Thanks you for Brad Debo.
Top of the fifth from Red Wilson Field as the Waddy Red Sox lead the Harwich Mariners by a score of 6-1. As the 7, 8, 9 hitters, Debo, Rivera, Green, due up in this inning. Wiles back on the hill for the Red Sox. First pitch to the catcher, Debo, is spotted at the knees for strike one. Wiles so far has been a just different pitcher than what his track record has shown. 4 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, no walks, and 1 strikeout. A 1 pitch as a fastball is popped high in the air out towards foul ground. Third baseman Waddell tracks it as he moves back into fair territory to make the grab for the first out. So Debo is retired for the first man out here on the top of the fifth. Mariners so far only 3 hits and the 1 run coming off the bat of Taryn Morris in the third inning. Red Sox scored 2 in the first, 3 in the second, and 1 in the fourth. 2 in the first came off the bat of Noah Campbell, and then a collection of doubles. Played 3 more in the second, and then in the last inning it was the ground out from John DeLuca. And was able to score a run. First pitch to give Rivera out in front swinging is Rivera for strike one. Rivera ground to shortstop his first time up. Righty pitch is in the dirt and cut on a miss by Rivera. Count is quickly, no balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Wiles has done a really nice job pounding the strike zone tonight, getting ahead in the counts. He has 35 strikes, just 15 balls thrown. And that's been reflected in his lack of walks. He's not walked a single Mariner batter tonight.
The 0-2 from the windup is swung on and missed. Rivera goes down on strikes. That is now the second strikeout for Wiles this evening. Now quickly 2 outs here in the top of the fifth. Still nobody on.
Yeah, Wiles is dealing right now. He's retired 9 of the last 10 Mariners batters. The only one he did and is standing on deck right now. It's Tanner Morris, who hit a solo home run his last time up.
So 2 outs here in the top of the fifth. Still nobody on as now the second baseman, the 9-hole hitter, Jordan Green out of Clemson. Facing Wiles out of Oklahoma State. First pitch, Green sees he pops it up over towards just outside the tailgate area, and the catcher Dyer will call off the first baseman Zubia for the third out. So 1-2-3 inning worked by Wiles. He's now pitched a 1-run ball over 5 innings. Red Sox lead 6-1 after 4.5. Let's do Mariners baseball on the Harwich Mariners Radio Network.
Mariners Baseball and Cape Cod Baseball are brought to you in part by Cape Cod Healthcare, quality hospitals, superior care. Curry College. For more information, visit www.curry.edu. And Chatham Bars Inn, a proud member of Leading Hotels of the World.
Designated hitter.
Bottom of the fifth from Red Wilson Field. 6-1 Red Sox lead over the Harwich Mariners. As it is Freesia, Luke Waddell, and Matthew Dyer. Again, the 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Red Sox. We'll try to extend this lead. Gage Gillian back on the rubber for the Mariners. He pitched scoreless 2/3 of an inning after the Red Sox stranded the bases loaded. First pitch fastballs well upstairs for ball one from Gillian to Vito Freesia. On the DH spot this evening, Freesia singled in the second and flew out in the third.
Now, it was really impressive to see Gillian come in the bottom of the fourth inning, and he pitched so well. It was a high-pressure situation. Bases loaded, one out, did not allow a single run. Now let's see how he's able to do with the base paths empty. This is his own inning. Let's see if he can really settle down and continue the strong work he had back in his first 2/3 of an inning.
So after the first pitch misses upstairs, comes back here with a fastball at the knees. Now the curveball at the knees as well is proven he can throw both the fastball and the curveball for a strike. And he's looked spectacular so far for the Mariners in relief. The 1-2 offering is a line drive, one hopper over to the second baseman Green. He gathers it up, and we'll throw it on a first for out number one. So Freesia is retired here in the bottom of the fifth. All the Red Sox do lead 6-1. Was a hard hit ball, but right at the second baseman Green, who just moved about a step or two to his right to field that ball. So one down here in the bottom of the fifth is the third baseman Luke Waddell, who is practically another one of those utility guys. We've seen him at short this season, second base yesterday, and now at third base today.
Right, yeah, he's an infield utility guy, and he's been quite good doing it so far this season.
Right lefty matchup, first pitch fastball runs up and out zone for ball one.
He's not quite as good as a utility player as Nate Eichhoff is, and Eichhoff may be a special case, but still, Eichhoff has been one of the best we've seen.
1-0 pitch is swung on and flat out towards left field. Driscoll moves in a step or two to his left to secure out number two. So 2 up, 2 down so far. Gillian's retired the first 4 hitters he has faced in this ball game and has really steadied the ship from the Mariners, and is now the 9-hole hitter Matthew Dyer, who has been tough to keep off base this evening. He had an RBI double in the second inning and then bunted his way on and came around to score in the fourth. So 2 for 2 with an RBI and 2 runs. First pitch curveball is perfectly placed at the knees for strike one. Again, another first pitch curveball for strike one from Gillian. That has been the big thing this evening. Is every single hitter besides Freesia and Waddell, 3 out of the 5 hitters, he has thrown first pitch strike as a 1 pitch hops into off the chest protector of the catcher Debo for ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike to count, 2 outs, nobody on. 6-1, Red Sox lead over the Mariners here at the bottom of the fifth. Gillian comes set, the 1-1 pitch. Fastball elevated up in the zone is popped up and out of play behind the press box area. Count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, the YD Red Sox, they jumped out on top in the bottom of the first inning with the 2-run home run, and they've been in the driver's seat ever since. It's good to see Gillian as he's pitched really, really well so far in tonight's game. Let's see if the Mariners bats are finally able to respond.
1-2 look like a changeup there. Now maybe another bite at that one is Dyer. Pitch misses off the plate. Count is now even backed up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gillian comes set, he kicks and fires. 2-2 pitches, fired right back up the middle, just out of the reach of the second baseman Jordan Green, as Dyer now collects his 3rd hit in this evening's ball game. As he now has his 2nd single on the evening's ball game, and now prolongs this inning with 2 outs as he reaches base. So the top hitter comes back around for the Red Sox. It is now Zach Ashford, who's now hit back-to-back doubles in his last 2 at-bats, including a big RBI in the 3-run second inning. So 2 outs. Over at first base is Dyer. 6-1 Red Sox lead over the Mariners. Gillian comes from the stretch now. Facing left-hander Ashford. First pitch to Ashford. Outside corner for strike 1. Continue to get ahead of these pitchers' counts is Gillian. Ashford steps out for a second and will set back in from the left side. Ashford, one of the Bulldogs out of Fresno State, hitting .298 this year.
You mentioned Bulldogs, and Bulldogs is just one of the most generic mascots, I'll tell you.
0-1 pitch is clubbed out towards right center field. Will touch the grass out there in the gap. Heading around first to second base is Ashford. As caught in between third and home was Dyer, as all of a sudden he put on the brakes about halfway through as the ball came to the cutoff man, the second baseman, Jordan Green. He could have had a chance to make it around, I think, but all of a sudden he was told to stop, so he's holed up at third base. That's another double, and it is Ashford's third double in this ball game. He is 3 for 4 now with an RBI.
Zach Ashford has been that doubles machine. You mentioned one. Well, tonight it's all he's done. He's hit 3 doubles in 4 at-bats, so Mariners don't want to see him at the plate anytime soon.
First pitch to DeLuca is in there for strike 1, and Ashford coming into this game, out of the 37 hits, only 2 of them were extra bases and doubles. So he has now hit more doubles tonight than on the season.
Yeah, exactly right. Out of his 37 hits, 35 were just for singles, and it's rare to see for somebody who's playing here at Red Wilson Field that the ball splits the gap. It's likely to get all the way to the wall, and doubles are pretty easy to come by, but he has not been able to do it much this season.
0-1 pitch chops into the dirt as a catcher Debo once more going to the knees to block that one. It counts now 1 ball and 1 strike on DeLuca.
No triples or home runs either for Ashford.
DeLuca, the guy at the plate, does have a home run on this season out of Oregon. Andrew Doshbach leads the team in doubles with 11. 1-1 pitch is in there for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes is the count on DeLuca. You talk about Doshbach 11 doubles. The next closest man up is Quinn Cotton with 7. So Ashford trying to find himself maybe for second place in doubles as the 1-2 pitch upstairs. Check swing. Does not go around, says the third base umpire Tom Carey, as the count of it's back up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And still an opportunity for Gage Gillian to get himself out of the inning in the bottom of the 5th, with runners on second and third and 2 outs.
So runners standing on second and third with 2 outs. 6-1 Red Sox lead. A 2-2 offering to DeLuca outside corner, gets him looking, and Gillian works out of trouble in the bottom of the 5th inning. Red Sox strand 2 more, but they do lead 6-1 after 5. Listen to Mariners baseball on the Harwich Mariners Radio Network. Back inside Red Wilson Field for the top half of the sixth inning. Mariners trail 6-1. New pitcher on the mound is Ty Magical. As Nathan Wiles' evening is done. Wiles went 5 strong innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, no walks, and 2 punch-outs. So Madrigal, who is one of the All-Stars, is making his 10th appearance with a .23 ERA and 22 innings pitch, has yielded 22 hits, 6 runs, 3 of them earned, 4 walks, and 19 punch-outs. However, the top of the order is coming back around for the Mariners here on the top of the 6th. 1, 2, 3, due up.
And I'm honestly surprised to see Wiles come out of tonight's game. He'd thrown just over 50 pitches on the day through 5 innings of work. Had more left in the tank, I'm sure, but they have to go to the bullpen.
First pitch is at the knees for strike 1 to Morris. It could be just the 3rd time coming back around. The Red Sox coaching staff just didn't quite want him seeing them one more time as the 0-1 pitch misses low and away for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike is the count on Madrigal. Madrigal, whose brother is Nick Madrigal out of Oregon State.
Was top 3 pick in this year's MLB draft.
As the 1-1 pitch is chopped over towards second base to DeLuca, flipped on to first base. And Morris is retired for the first out here in this inning.
Number 28, Aaron Shunk.
Madrigal was drafted by the Chicago White Sox.
So with 1 down the inning here, it is Aaron Shunk, the DH this evening, who is 0 for 2, popped out and has grounded out. So lefty-righty matchup. First pitch, Aaron Shunk is lined out towards shallow right center field. Will drop in for a base hit in the gap. Center fielder Ashford comes down to scoop the ball up. The Mariners record their 4th hit in this evening's ball game here in the top of the 6th. As with 1 out, Aaron Shunk finds himself aboard.
Yeah, going back to the point on Nick Madrigal, who is now playing, as I mentioned, in the White Sox organization. He was with their rookie ball team, and he ran into a little trouble there. They promoted him to A-ball nonetheless, and he's hitting .389 at A-ball. So moving up the system pretty quickly.
First pitch to Andre Lipsius is on the inside corner for strike 1. It's actually his twin brother, Nick Madrigal, who was only the one out of the top 5 draft picks in this year's draft to not play in the Cape, and he was supposed to, but ended up not playing. So as the 0-1 pitch is line drive down the first base side, just foul. Couldn't quite squeeze it in there between the line. Count is now 0-2.
It was awfully close down that first base line. Our view is somewhat obstructed by the Harwich Mariners dugout, but it looked awfully close.
0-2 pitch from Madrigal is rolled over towards the third base side. Waddell flips on to Luca. DeLuca comes back around and making a nice play over the base, but he'll be outstretched, just couldn't quite get. Lipsius over at first. That's a fielder's choice. As there are now 2 outs here on the top of the 6th. 6-1 Red Sox lead. I'm just trying to see. Let's see. Madrigal's 6 foot, and his brother Nick, I believe, is only 5'7" or 5'8".
He's 5'7", 5'7", 145.
Because he's a second baseman. Obviously, his brother now is a pitcher.
Not identical.
And they're always comparing the Nick to Dustin Pedroia, Jose Altuve, who are practically short, but they can still hit the snot out of the ball. I mean, Madrigal was mashing this year for the Oregon State Beavers.
But he's not going to hit for power. He had just 3 home runs this past season at Oregon State. Hit .367 there.
0-1 pitch is swung on and missed from Eichhoff. Count is quickly, no balls and 2 strikes.
He hit .367 this year, hit .380 back in his sophomore season. His sophomore season was just a little better than his junior year. But the White Sox felt he was good enough to go forward and draft him at the very top of the draft.
0-2 to Eichhoff. He slays off that curveball. Jack swing does not go around. Count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Eichhoff for the plate right now. A tough pitch to lay off as that curveball low and away. Toughest pitch to hit and toughest pitch to lay off as well. Pitch low and away. And the curveball is well more special. Start on the zone and finish out of the zone. And as Madrigal works the 1-2 pitch, this is rolled over towards the second baseman. And it gets through the wickets at DeLuca. As now running around second towards third base is Andre Lipsius. And That's just one of those fundamental plays. You just got to stay down the ball. He expected to hop up and just hopped up. Did not hop at it at all and just stay down on the ground as he charges an error.
That's really rough. You know, you don't like to see that from anybody. As DeLuca, the second baseman there, has probably the most embarrassing play you can have in baseball. It's the most routine of ground balls over towards second base, and it goes right through the legs. It does take a bit of a weird hop off the lip of the grass, but still, if you are playing back on that ball like you should, playing out on a long hop, you're able to make that adjustment, and that was not a pretty sight over at second base.
So it may not be the Boston Red Sox, but Billy Buckner has made his way onto the Cape. First pitch is in there for a strike. One to the left fielder, Logan Driscoll. So Mitchell tried to work out of this jam here after the error by the second baseman DeLuca. We told you before the beginning of the game that the Red Sox have struggled on the defensive side this season as the 0-1 pitch is fouled out of play over towards the Red Sox dugout. Counts quickly, no balls and 2 strikes.
Well, the Red Sox, or I beg your pardon, the Mariners now have an opportunity. They've got a runner on third base with 2 outs, and they've got somebody at the plate right now in Logan Driscoll who has hit the ball very well recently. So let's see if they're able to drive that run home from third base with Andre Lipsius and, you know, possibly make the most out of this error made at second base by DeLuca.
Mitchell steps off the bag for a second. Or excuse me, steps off the rubber for a second. We'll come back and face the left-hander, Driscoll. Whereas on the corners with 2 outs, the 0-2 pitch. High jumper back over towards DeLuca at second base. This time it's on a hop. He fields it. And we'll throw on a first base to retire Logan Driscoll. So the error comes to nothing. As after 5.5, 6-1, Red Sox lead us to Mariners baseball on the Harwich Mariners Radio Network.
Noah Campbell.
And welcome back inside. Red Wilson Field, home half of the 6th inning. Red Sox lead 6-1. Gage Gillian on the hill for the Mariners once more. He's been looking dazzling so far since he has entered this ball game.
Got 1 2/3 innings of work. Has not allowed a run yet. Has allowed a couple of hits.
First pitch, Noah Campbell is a high ground ball over towards second baseman Green. Takes a step or 2 and throws it on to first base. And Noah Campbell is retired, and that's a big out. Noah Campbell, guy that was 2 for 2 with a hit by a pitch, including a home run, and had an RBI double as well. So he was a guy that has driven in 3 of these 6 runs, almost the half the runs the Red Sox have scored this evening. And he's retired for the first out in the bottom of the 6th. So now with 1 down, it is the cleanup man, Zach Zubia, the first baseman out of Texas. 0 for 2 with a walk in this evening's ball game. He walked his last at bat in the 4th inning. First pitch fastball misses off the plate for ball 1. So the sun begins to set in the sky. Of course, 5 o'clock start time. No lights here at Red Wilson. Well, it can become a factor late in the game as the 1-0 once more misses in the dirt. 2-0 the count. A couple teams around the Cape that have no lights. Katuitt being one of them at Lowell Park, right here. Red Wilson and Stony Brook Field in Brewster. 2-0 pitch is swung on a high pop-up to deep center field. Norman going back to the track, and he leaps, but it is gone. Zach Zubia disposes that ball over the center field fence and picks up his 3rd home run on the Cape League season, as the YD Red Sox now lead the Harwich Mariners by a score of 7-1.
Yeah, it's tough for the Mariners because the Mariners are already trailing by 5 runs coming into this inning. They have three innings to try to get themselves back into this game, and it's just a high fly ball that carries and carries out towards center field. There's a routine fly out at many other ballparks, but here in YD, that ball carries enough to get itself over that center field wall. Probably only hit about 360 feet, but it gets out of here.
First pitch to Quinn Cotton, and misses down the dirt for ball 1. You have to wonder, too, if the wind may have helped that, because Ben Norman off the bat, kind of played in his own position, started moving back a couple steps, didn't really sprint towards the wall at first, and that ball just kept carrying. As the 1-0 pitch is at the belt for strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. And it was very similar to Spencer Brickhouse's home run back in June. We saw that as well. A ball just kept carrying and carrying, and all of a sudden the center field, you just run out of room. 1-0 pitch to Khan. It's flown out towards shallow right center field. The right fielder Rivera tracking that ball all the way in, and while on the run makes the catch for the 2nd out. So after the Zubia home run, Khan flies out to the right fielder Rivera, as they're now 2 outs. However, it's 7-1 Red Sox lead. Red Sox have 7 runs, 11 hits, and 1 error. Mariners 1 run on 4 hits and no errors. So the Red Sox have definitely out-hit the Mariners today. First pitch to the left-hander right fielder Reese Albert. He chops that one down the first baseline foul. Albert, who is hitless in this ball game, 0 for 3. He's lined out, flown out, and grounded out. So he's done a little bit of everything. Right-lefty matchup. Albert towards the back end of that box. 0-1. Fast curveball, he waits on it, but fouls it back into the screen. It counts Cookie, no balls and 2 strikes. Bench before Albert out of FSU. Of course, Buster Posey. Not only did Buster Posey play for YD, but he was out of Florida State as well. Put up one of the better, more like one of the best college baseball seasons ever seen. He won the Golden Spikes Award that year as the 0-2 pitch. Fastball runs up and out of zone, 1-2 the count. Buster Posey, of course, now a World Series champ with the Giants. 1-2 pitch outside corner, strike 3 call. Albert goes down looking, he can't believe it, and Gillian, besides the home run, records the 3 other hitters that he faces, and after 6, 7-1 Red Sox lead. Listen to Mariners baseball on the Harwich Mariners Radio Network.
Top of the 7th inning from Red Wilson Field, a 7-1 YD Red Sox lead as Ben Norman will dig in from the left side. Brady Batten out there for the YD Red Sox. Batten out of Houston Baptist has a 2.08 ERA so far this season. Only allowed a couple of hits and 1 run. And the first pitch from Batten on the outside corner for strike 1, and the count 0-1. And the 0-1 pitch misses, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1 delivery. Swung on and missed, and the count 1-2. The number on the back of the jersey is 21. That is the number of Brady Batten, but we're receiving conflicting reports as to whether or not it is Michael James or Brady Batten.
I'm guessing it's Michael James then.
The 1-2 pitch misses low into the dirt, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ben Norman.
Yeah, it's quite difficult. You know, sometimes wear different jersey numbers. We've seen with the Harwich Mariners, and I guess whoever's on the point streak here, what we're looking at, they might know more than we do. So
that's why I'm suspecting it is Michael James, because on our official stats sheets we were given on the website, as the 2-2 pitch is cut on and a foul ball out of play down the left side, it is listed as number 21 is Brady Batten, and that is the number being worn. And
Batten's a righty, and James is a lefty, so we're going to go with Michael James.
So Michael James is listed on the point streak, was in our game live, as that's being controlled by the people here at YD. So we're suspecting they know more about the situation. We're going to lean towards Brian James. 2-2 pitch swung on, and a shallow line drive into left center field for a base hit. And Ben Norman is aboard with no outs in the top of the 7th inning.
Again, the Mariners got a leadoff guy on here. Or that is only the second time, I should say, the Mariners have done so this evening into the 7th inning. And, of course, Rito Friese doing the catching in the Hofstra. Well, so is James. So, 2 guys back in school, feel pretty comfortable with each other. Now pitching and catching here on the Cape.
First pitch to Brad Debo misses low for ball 1. Count 1-0 on the left-handed hitting catcher. Norman off first base, 7-1 Red Sox lead. 1-0 pitch on the outside corner, the count 1 ball and 1 strike on Brad Debo. The YD Red Sox scored first in the bottom of the first inning with 2 runs. They added 3 more in the bottom of the second, led this game 5-0, 1-1 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed by Debo, the count 1-2. In the top of the third, the Mariners responded with a run of their own to cut the lead to 5-1. But in the bottom of the fourth, the YD Red Sox tacked on yet another run to lead it 6-1. And in the bottom of the 6th, after Gage Gillian came into the ballgame, they added yet another run, and now will lead this game 7-1 over the Mariners as the 1-2 pitch is swung on and fouled off behind home plate. Count remains 1-2. Mariners will need runs, and need runs quickly, because sun is setting earlier and earlier now on Cape Cod. 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed, struck him out. And the Mariners are down 6 runs right now, so they may only have a couple of innings left.
Yeah, they definitely need some runs, and sooner rather than later, as you mentioned before. And it's been a tough going for the Mariners bat so far, only 5 hits compared to the Red Sox's 11. Evans got that one lone run off the bat of Terry Morris on a solo shot. So
Gabe Rivera digs in from the right side. First pitch is swung on and rolled over towards the on-deck circle. And the count 0-1. Norman leads off first base. 7-1 Red Sox lead. It is Gabe Rivera from the right-hander's batter's box. On deck, Jordan Green. The 0-1 pitch. This is upstairs in the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. James comes set, the 1-1 pitch. Misses low into the dirt, and the count 2 balls and 1 strike on Gabe Rivera. (7-1) Red Sox lead. Runner on first base, 1 out. The 2-1 pitch swung on a ground ball over towards shortstop, fielded by Campbell, put to second for 1, back on to first, not in time to get Rivera, and the ball is going to get away from the first baseman Zubia. Advancing over to second is Gabe Rivera. So runner on second base with 2 outs now, as Jordan Green has an opportunity to drive in a run for the Mariners.
Number 5.
Yeah, something that's been hard to come by for the Mariners this evening, and almost a nice double play. Remember, YD here on the first base side, there is no fence to block those balls, and ball just gets away, and able to advance towards second base is Rivera. Oh, there are 2 outs, but Green is in a big RBI spot here to drive in one.
And it would be an important one for the confidence of the Mariners' bats. They have only scored 1 run over the past 12 innings. Since last night's game in the 3rd inning, Mariners have just scored a single run against this YD pitching staff. So the Mariners, be big if they can get an RBI, try to tighten the gap here as the first pitch misses low for ball 1 to Jordan Green, count 1-0. Runner on second base, 2 outs, top of the 7th inning. Jordan Green, the 9-hitter, digs in from the right side. Afterwards, we'll be back to the top of the order with Tanner Morris. The 1-0 pitch to Green. Swung on and missed, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball on the outside corner. The count 1 ball and 2 strikes on Jordan Green, as James looks to work out of this inning. Runner on second base with 2 outs. Runner on second is Gabe Rivera. He reached second after he initially reached on a fielder's choice, and there was a throwing error by the second baseman DeLuca. So the 1-2 pitch, cut on and miss, struck him out. And Jordan Green goes down swinging to end the top of the 7th inning. We head to the 7th inning stretch. It's a 7-1 Red Sox lead. You're listening to Mariners Baseball on the Harwich Mariners Radio Network. Bottom of the 7th inning from Red Wilson Field. Austin Rooney alongside Thomas and Zarella. Glad to have you with us. Red Sox are all over the Mariners tonight as Vito Fresia steps in from the right side. First pitch from Cal Kruger, who is coming on in relief for Gage Gillian. Misses upstairs. Count 1 ball and no strikes on Fresia. The 1-0 from Kruger. Swung on a ground ball through the hole on the right side for a base hit just past the outstretched diving glove of Green. So there's a runner on first base with no outs in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Fresia now continues to perform out at the plate. He gets his second base hit and 4 at-bats out of that 7th spot for the Red Sox.
And this whole Red Sox team continues to hit. They are 12 for 30 this evening, hitting .400 as a team. First pitch misses low from Cal Kruger, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. And that does not include the additional 3 walks. 1-0 pitch swung on a high pop-up foul, giving chases Nate Eichhoff. It's going to get out of play, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike, along with the hit batsman. So if you include all of that, the on-base percentage for the YD Red Sox would be a total of 14 or 16 out of 34. That's nearly 500. 1-1 pitch misses upstairs, and the count 2 balls and 1 strike.
And the Red Sox bats have been red hot all evening long.
And the 2-1 pitch misses low, and the count 3 balls and 1 strike on Luke Waddell.
Of course, the first time we were here, the Red Sox put up a 12 spot on the run column. I believe it was a 6-run 3rd or 4th inning.
And 3-1 pitch swung on, a ground ball to the right side once again. YD will go station to station. Runners on first and second, no outs in the bottom of the 7th.
The catcher from Arizona, number 5.
And that's now hit number 13 in the hit column. I mean, Waddell picks up his first hit. There are only a handful of guys who do not have hits on this Red Sox team. Johnny DeLuca being one of them, the 2-hitter. And then you got to go down to Reese Albert, doesn't have a hit. And now Waddell records his first hit. So there are only 2 Red Sox in this lineup that do not have hits.
And Johnny DeLuca has reached base for the walk. He's also driven in a run with the ground out to second base. So he's put up a productive night even without a hit. As the 9-hitter, Matt Wire, takes ball 1 below the knees in the count 1-0. And Wire has certainly put up a hit. He's got 3 on the evening. He scored 2 runs along with it.
Yeah, Dyer's just been hard to keep off base tonight.
1-0 pitch swung on, a 1 hopper over towards third, on a second for 1, back on a first. It's a double play. The Mariners go around the horn with a 5-4-3 double play. And after Dyer was tough to get out for the Mariners the first 3 times around, the Mariners get 2 for the price of 1 in the bottom of the 7th inning.
And nicely turning double play ball there, and Dyer swinging early in the count and just rolls one over towards the third baseman Eichhoff, who just asked to do a nice big job over that third. And pretty much after that, a tough double play turn, especially with the rather peeling off.
And Zach Ashford, the left-handed hitting leadoff man, takes strike 1 at the letters in the count 0-1. Now Ashford has recorded 3 consecutive doubles in tonight's game. Coming up for his 5th time already in the bottom of the 7th. As the 1-0 pitch misses outside, count 2-0. Beg your pardon, the count 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1 pitch misses low, and the count 2 balls and 1 strike on Ashford. Scoreboard has sort of been all over the place tonight here at Red Wilson Field. I normally keep track of the count, and I look at the scoreboard. I try to do both, but Usually I will rely upon that scoreboard to be correct out in left center. 2-1 pitch misses outside, and the count 3-1.
And just as much as Dyer has been a hassle for the Mariners, you mentioned before, as of Ashford, driven a couple runs and 3 doubles, all back to back to back in 3 straight appearances.
3-1 delivery, cut on a line drive into left field for a base hit. And Ashford is on base for the 4th time tonight. He's got 3 doubles and a single and drives in a run this time around, and the YD Red Sox lead it 8-1.
Second baseman from Oregon, number 16.
Runner comes all the way around to score, that being Vito Freesha. So Cal Kruger came in the game and he struggled. That is hit number 14 on the evening for the YD Red Sox. And the first pitch to the 2-hitter, Johnny DeLuca, is cut on a high foul ball, hot chopper foul down the first base line, and count 0-1. The 0-1 pitch to DeLuca, cut on and missed, and the count 0-2. So take a look at the weather forecast tonight. The official sunset time, I was under the impression it was a little early. It's 8 o'clock tonight. So that's important because you can only play until there is no sunlight left. There are no lights at at Red Wilson Field. As the 0-2 pitch is swung on and fouled off down the left field side, count remains 0-2.
They do have a high chance of getting this game in. Just depends if either quickening or just a whole inning that goes on forever, it feels like. So
the 0-2 delivery swung on and a line drive foul down the right field side, out of play, and it was a good piece of contact off the bat of DeLuca. As you mentioned, just 1 of 2 players without a hit on this YD Red Sox team tonight. Ashford has 4. He's 4 for 5 with 3 RBIs. Campbell 2 for 3 with a home run and a double, 3 RBIs. And Matt Dyer 3 for 4 with an RBI and 2 runs scored. As the 0-2 pitch in there for strike 3. DeLuca's not a big fan of the call, but Joe LaBella rings him up nonetheless. At the end of 7 innings of play, it is the Red Sox 8 and the Mariners 1. You're listening to Mariners Baseball on the Harwich Mariners Radio Network. Welcome back in the top half of the 8th inning from Red Wilson Field. 8-1 Red Sox lead. First pitch to the leadoff hitter, Tanner Morris, is at the knees for strike one. It's the 1, 2, and 3 hitters, Morris, Shunk, and Lipsius. Two up in the inning. 0-1 pitch at the knees, and the count 0-2. Tanner Morris has accounted for the only Mariners run tonight. It was a solo shot to right field back in the top of the third as the 0-2 delivery is swung on, and it's off his foot. And it is foul, and he's trying to walk it off. He grimaced in pain initially, but appears to be fine. The YD Red Sox scored 2 runs in the first, put up an additional 3 in the second inning. The Mariners responded with a run of their own with the solo shot from Morris back in the top of the third. The Red Sox added a solo home run in the fourth, another one in the sixth, tacked on yet another run in the seventh, and lead this game 8-1. The 0-2 pitch misses low, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Chandler Fidel in tonight's ball game for the YD Red Sox. He's got a 3 ERA in the season and 15 innings of work. He's walked 9 batters, which is what has been his issue. The 1-2 pitch to Morris. On the outside corner for strike 3. A nice pitch with the fastball, and there's 1 out.
The designated hitter from Georgia.
And the Mariners have a serious risk of getting swept this season by the YD Red Sox. They are yet to pick up a win in their first 5 appearances, and they're unable to take home the win tonight, which they're down by 7 runs. Just 5 outs remaining. That will be an 0-6 year against the YD Red Sox. And next up would be Chatham, and Mariners have not beaten the Anglers yet this season. Aaron Shunk stepped out of the right-hander's batter's box during a pitch, and they said it was a no pitch, so they'll go and do it over. The first pitch to Shunk is swung on, a high pop-up in foul ground. Moving over is the first baseman who makes the catch. First baseman for the YD Red Sox, Zubia. Zach Zubia makes the catch over towards the out-of-play line. There are a couple lines here at Red Wilson Field. There is the out-of-play line, and there's the fan safety line.
Zubia, of course, at the home run to tack on a run in the 6th inning.
First pitch to Andre Lipsius, the 3-hitter misses low, and the count 1 ball and no strikes on Andre Lipsius. Only players with hits in the Mariners order tonight have been Tanner Morris, who's 1 for 4 with the home run, Nate Eichhoff, who's 1 for 3 with the double, and Brad Debo, who is 1 for 3 with a single. The 1-0 pitch misses, and the count 2 balls and no strikes on Lipsius. The 2-0 delivery is swung on, a ground ball over towards third. Fielded by Waddell, he'll throw across the diamond, and that'll do it. Yet another 1-2-3 inning from the YD Red Sox pitching staff at the end of 7.5. It's the Mariners 1 and the Red Sox 8. You're listening to Mariners Baseball on the Harwich Mariners Radio Network. Bottom of the 8th inning from Red Wilson Field. An 8-1 Red Sox lead. Austin Rooney alongside Thomas Cinzarella. We're glad you've chosen to spend your Sunday evening with us. As Noah Campbell was the 3-hitter in the YD Red Sox order, digs in from the left side. And the first pitch misses low for ball one. Count 1-0 on Campbell.
Campbell's been excellent this evening. A home run and a double. His first 2 at-bats hit by pitch and was grounded out his last time out.
1-0 delivery is in the dirt, and the count 2 balls and no strikes. The new pitcher's on the mound for the Harwich Mariners. That's Jacob Westfall, and Westfall has struggled so far on Cape Cod.
Yeah, he's only made his 1 or 2 appearances, has given up 6 runs, 5 of them earned an inning in the 3rd.
The 2-0 delivery. On the outside corner, on the count 2 balls and 1 strike. This game should be in terms of the lighting, of course, as here at Red Wilson Field, there are a number of issues regarding the lights and whether or not they're going to be able to get games in. 2-1 pitch, swung on a line drive out towards left center field. There'll be extra bases again for Noah Campbell as that ball goes up against the wall. And yet another stand-up double for the left-handed hitter.
Remember the number of doubles on the Red Sox today, going back to the 2nd inning. They had 3 doubles in that 1 inning. So, I mean, they've been doubles machines today, even though the Mariners do lead the league in doubles. And since that 3-double 2nd inning, tough to say, that has only been the 3rd double since then. And Ashford had 2 of those back I think it's 4th and the 5th.
The Red Sox bats are 15 for 36 tonight. That's a .416 batting average. And the first pitch runs upstairs on the 4-hitter, Zubia, who homered his last time up. It was just a high fly ball to center field, and what initially appeared to be a routine play, but then Norman went back to the track and he leaped and it went over the wall. So the 1-0 pitch misses low, and the count 2 balls and no strikes. Westfall comes set, the 2-0. Swung on a ground ball right over towards third base, fielded by Eichhoff. He'll toss across the diamond. There's 1 away.
Yeah, it was another hard hit ball over towards the third base at the hot corner. Zuby got some good wood on that one, but Eichhoff was able to make a nice play.
Grand Canyon number 27, Quinn Cotton.
And Quinn Cotton was 1 for 3 this evening. He's also walked. He's reached base twice. They'll dig in from the right side. First pitch to Cotton misses low, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. For the most part, over the past 3 innings or so, 4 innings, I think the bullpen's done a decent job tonight.
Well, it's been a nice job from Gillian to Kruger, especially Gillian.
1-0 delivery misses low into the dirt, count 2 balls and no strikes.
Just going back to when Gillian came in the 4th inning, he struck out and got Albert to ground it out with the bases loaded, and then had some trouble in the 5th, but worked his way around it. And then just the home run was really what did him. That was the worst thing he could have done. But just you gotta tip your hat to Zach Zubia. Put a nice piece of wood on it. But I mean, there haven't been that many mistakes from the bullpen this evening.
Bullpen has gone a total of 4 innings. They have allowed 7 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks. 2-0 pitch swung on and missed by Cotton, and the count 2 balls and 1 strike. And if you're going to look for your bullpen to go 4+ innings in a ball game, and they're only allowing 2 runs, you're going to be content with that.
Yeah, definitely. Coach Eggert has to be happy with the bullpen tonight.
A 2-1 pitch misses low into the dirt, and the count 3 balls and 1 strike. In the top of the ninth, it'll be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters due up for the Mariners. Eichhoff, Driscoll, and Norman when that time comes. 3-1 pitch, swung on a high fly ball to deep left center field. Back and diving and making an outstanding catch out in left center field is Logan Driscoll.
Logan Driscoll can do it all. He can hit, he can catch, and he can play the outfield as well. He is just outstanding job out there to track that ball down. Honestly, it was honestly similar to Jackie Bradley Jr.'s catch at Fenway today, except JBJ was out in center. Again, having to cover a lot of ground out there and almost laying out into the wall. That's exactly what Jackie Bradley did today. If you haven't seen that catch, you got to check that one out, and that was just a nice grab by a Driscoll out there.
Well, Logan Driscoll is normally a catcher for the Harwich Mariners, and I talked to him a couple of games ago about the other positions that he's played, and he said he played some right field back in college, but he's playing in left field tonight. He's played left field and center field. He's played all around the outfield, and he's been a really solid utility guy for the Harwich Mariners. The first pitch misses outside, and the count 1 ball and no strikes, especially positions that are generally foreign to him. And he says he plays right field, but when you're out and playing left and center field, you're covering different ground. It's tougher to play that ball off the wall. As the 1-0 delivery misses upstairs and outside, count 2-0. So it's really impressive for him not only to cover the ground like he did there, but to dive and make an outstanding catch. The 2-0 pitch from Westfall, swung on a high fly ball out towards left field. Driscoll moves over a couple steps, and that will do it. At the end of 8 innings of work, it is an 8-1 Red Sox lead over the Harwich Mariners. You're listening to Mariners Baseball on the Harwich Mariners Radio Network. Top of the 9th inning, last opportunity for the Harwich Mariners to avoid the season sweep versus the YD Red Sox. And they've got quite a bit of work to do. They're down 7 runs by a score of 8-1. It's the 4, 5, and 6 hitters to get things going for the Mariners. Nate Eichhoff, who's 1 for 3, will dig in from the left side.
They do have some work out in front of a team that needs 7 runs and only have 5 hits coming into the 9th inning. So,
first pitch, swung on and missed. That pitch that was a little bit low, below the knees, but Eichhoff took a swing at it nonetheless, and the count 0-1. The 0-1 pitch cut on and fouled off, and the count no balls and 2 strikes. New pitcher on the mound for the YD Red Sox, Sam Kessler, coming into tonight's ball game out of West Virginia. Had just a 2.2 ERA in 16 1/3 innings of work. The 0-2 pitch. This is outside in the count 1-2. Yet another beautiful Sunday evening on Cape Cod, as the Harwich Mariners trail the YD Red Sox 8-1. Austin Rooney alongside Thomas Inzarella. We're glad you've chose to join us on this Sunday evening as the 1-2 pitch misses outside. Check swing from Nate Eichhoff, but he's able to hold up in the count 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Of course, today in baseball was the Hall of Fame ceremony. A couple guys getting in: Jim Tomei, Chipper Jones, Trevor Hoffman, and Vlad Guerrero Jr.
2-2 pitch, swung on a hard line drive, but an outstanding catch made by the first baseman Zubia. That ball looked tailor-made for the right field line and extra bases, but an outstanding catch over at first base by Zubia. And there's one away in the top of the 9th.
That was a nice catch by Zuby at first base, showing off the hops there and the agility, and very similar catch to what Aaron Shunk had back in Bourne, except over at third base just 2 games ago. Just a hard line drive and showing off the athleticism.
First pitch to Logan Driscoll. Swung on and missed at a pitch below the knees in the count 0-1. You saw Driscoll make an impact in left center field. Then recently he started to get that back going. His average over 200 at 218. 0-1 delivery. Breaking ball cut on and missed. And the count 0-2 on Logan Driscoll.
Yeah, Driscoll, who's batting yesterday, was active once more, back-to-back games, collecting a couple RBIs and base hits so far, 0 for 3. But there's an opportunity here to get things going for the Mariners here in the 9th.
Base paths empty, 1 out. Top of the 9th inning, 8-1 Red Sox. 0-2 pitch. Cut on and missed, struck him out. Driscoll goes down swinging, and there are 2 away in the top of the 9th.
Just overpowering there was Kessler. Kessler does have 18 bunch outs and 16 in a third.
Batting for Ben Norman, number 39, John Stanton.
Mariners down to their final out in the top of the 9th inning, and John Stanton, a very big right-handed hitter out of SNHU. Will dig in from the right side. He's got some power. Big hitter, said he likes to go gap to gap as the first pitch is swung on and a foul tip behind home plate, in the count 0-1. So unless there is some miracle of a comeback, Mariners down to their final out in the top of the 9th. They will fall for the 6th time this season against the YD Red Sox as the 0-1 delivery misses low into the dirt, count 1-1. And this is going to be an issue for the Mariners moving forward regarding those 1 and 2 spots in the East Division. They're going to take on Chatham again on Tuesday. And that's going to be another big game for the Mariners because it's most likely at this point, I think all but certain actually, the 1-1 pitch misses outside, count 2-1. The Mariners will be playing the Chatham Anglers in that first round next Saturday and Sunday. And that's important because the Mariners need some confidence going into that series versus the Anglers. It's going to be awfully tough to go into that series and not having beaten that team as the 2-1 pitch runs up and in the count 3 balls and 1 strike. It looked like that hit Stanton, but was able to get out of the way. So the count 3-1 on the big right-handed hitter.
It's all about meshing towards that playoff time and getting a couple wins.
The 3-1 pitch to Stanton is swung on, a high fly ball towards center field. Moving back is Ashford, and he makes the catch for the final out of the inning. So that'll do it from Red Wilson Field for the Harwich Mariners as they fall by a score of 8-1 in the final regular season contest between the two teams. So let's start all the way back in the beginning tonight for the Harwich Mariners in that first inning. And the YD Red Sox got on the board early. There was a walk from Johnny DeLuca, the second hitter in the lineup, and it was followed up by a 2-run home run off the bat of Noah Campbell. And from that point on, the Mariners were in trouble.
Well, the Mariners were definitely in trouble again, scoring first, scoring often, and that's what the Red Sox did. You mentioned the first inning, the two runs in the first just off one bat of the swing. That's on the fact of DeLuca reaching on base via the walk, and that's what Jacob Bradley struggled in this evening's ball game. In 3-30, he had 3 walks, almost an inning per inning. He recorded a walk, and that was just troubling for him today. And Campbell made him pay by walking DeLuca. And then you mentioned the second inning, the 3 runs really kind of jumped out for the Red Sox. You know, 5 of their 8 runs came the first 2 innings.
That's right. So now diving into that second inning you're talking about, it was 4 hits from the YD Red Sox. Started off with a single off the bat of Vito Fresia, and then an RBI double from Matt Dyer, an RBI double from Zach Ashford, and yet another RBI double from Noah Campbell. 3 RBI doubles in the span of 4 hitters for the YD Red Sox. It was enough to drive home 3 runs, and the YD Red Sox then put themselves in the driver's seat up 5-0, and the Mariners find themselves in quite a hole.
Yeah, it is a tough hole to climb out of, too, especially with the way that Nathan Wiles for the Red Sox was pitching. He gave up 3 of the 5 hits in his 5 innings of work to pitch really solid. Really nice job by Wiles today. A guy that's struggled in the Cape League this season, ERA over 8, but looked really good on the mound today, commanding his pitches very well. And you got to give the credit to the Red Sox pitching in their bullpen as well, just shutting out or almost shutting out the Mariners, and obviously the 1 run coming off the Tanner Morris home run.
That's right, and you mentioned the Tanner Morris home run on the top of the 3rd inning. That was the next run scored in this ball game. It was a well-hit ball out towards right field. The Mariners found themselves coming back into this game, and when they score that first run, you start to think maybe the Mariners will be able to get the bats going. They get 1 run in the 3rd inning. This is against a guy in Wiles who has struggled this season, and the Mariners thought maybe you can get to Wiles, but it never happened.
Yeah, he always thought that the Mariners might have a chance, and that might be the start of things there with the home run from Morris. His second on the season. He's been hitting well at the plate all year long, and just the Mariners couldn't get the bats continually to go, and they struggled to hit column today. Yesterday we saw them struggle in scoring runners and scoring position, and today it was the exact opposite. They didn't get enough hits to carry them, and you know, you got to again just credit the Red Sox pitching today.
That's right, and in the bottom of the 4th inning, the Red Sox continued to tack on runs. A single from Dyer, followed by a double from Ashford. There were runners on 2nd and 3rd. Johnny DeLuca drove in a run on a fielder's choice, and the YD Red Sox found themselves ahead 6-1. Afterwards, the Harwich Mariners got some good pitching from Gage Gillian. The bases were loaded in the bottom of the 4th inning with 1 out when he came in. And Gillian did a really nice job. He got a strikeout on Quinn Cotton, followed by a ground out from Reese Albert. And one of a couple of bright spots tonight has to be Gage Gillian.
Oh, Gillian definitely, a guy that struggled his first time out, comes back in his 2nd appearance, comes with the bases loaded, and records a big strikeout. I think it's a ground out. I mean, the score could have been a lot worse. You know, the game could have been put away a lot earlier. Again, it kept the Mariners in the game and gave him a chance to win. On Gillian, you have to be gotta be thinking the high for Gillian. He had some very high stuff, fastball, had some pop to it in the mid. The catcher's man, and he's excited to see what Gillian can do the rest of this season. Again, he could be one of those guys that takes over. Seems like maybe the guy that Engler will trust towards. You know, Sotero's gone now. Signed that big league contract with the Phillies, so maybe that's the one guy that Coach Engler might rely on heading towards the stretch here.
You mentioned a guy the Mariners can rely on. Now, what happened in his first appearance for Gillian was walks were an issue, and we spoke with the pitching coach after the game, and he was saying, you know, nerves were a bit of a problem for Gillian his first time out. He was nervous playing his first Cape Cod game, walked 4 of the 7 batters he's faced. He's not somebody who normally walks a lot of guys, and he showed his true colors tonight. He was outstanding tonight versus the YD Red Sox. 2 2/3 innings of work, allowed 3 hits, 1 earned run, 3 strikeouts, no walks. That was the Gillian that we heard about coming into the season.
Now that's the Gillian that we saw that pitched back at Walter State Community College and excelled today on the mound for the Mariners. And it's great to see him, and just going through the rest of the bullpen while we're on this topic. Cal Kruger pitched an inning, he did up the run, but again, he pitched up, you know, not as poor as it could have been, and then Westfall coming out and closing out the game for the Mariners. He pitched excellent as well.
You mentioned it. We'll just recap the final 2 runs of tonight's ball game. In the bottom of the 6th inning, it's a solo shot off the bat of Zach Zubia on a high fly ball to center field that just sort of carried some more, and eventually got out of the ballpark in the very short fence out in center field, right around 355 feet. The ball was only maybe hit 360 feet, and it was enough to get out of here at Red Wilson Field. That gave the YD Red Sox a 7-1 lead, and then in the bottom of the 7th inning, after a single from Freesia, a single from Waddell, a ground out from Dyer ended up moving the 2 of them over, and then a base hit from Zach Ashford drove in Vito Freesia. That gave the YD Red Sox an 8-1 lead, and that score would stand until the end of tonight's game, and it was not a game in which, you know, sometimes a team will put up 7 hits and somehow manage to put up 8 runs with walks and other base runners. That wasn't the game we saw tonight from the YD Red Sox. They put up 8 runs. They could have scored far more. They had 15 hits along with 19 base runners. So when you have 19 base runners and you're only out 24 times, it was quite the evening from these YD bats.
Yeah, they just continued to hit throughout the game. They played a total complete game from the pitching to the defense. They did make John DeLuca make 2 errors over at second base, but it didn't really come back to haunt them. And just the pitching as well. And they did leave 10 men on base when we scored enough runs, and you limit the amount of hits and base runners you allow to the opposition, and you will find a way to win this game, and that's what the Red Sox did tonight.
So that will do it here from us at Red Wilson Field. The Harwich Mariners lose to the YD Red Sox 8-1. They are officially swept in the season series. They go 0-6 versus the YD Red Sox. The Mariners have the day off tomorrow as they will rest and look forward towards this home stretch at the towards the end of this year as they head towards the postseason. The Mariners have 3 games remaining on their schedule. They play the Chatham Anglers on Tuesday at home at 6:30 p.m. So, from my broadcasting partner Thomas Cinzarella, I'm Austin Rooney saying so long from Red Wilson Field.